Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meow Mix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven. And we're here to talk about a Carolina Panthers victory. Victory, Jerry. Okay.
And try to work through that.
I don't, what do you mean? Me work through that?
I apologize, all those viewers of none. And my mic was having an issue there. But hey, we won! Sweet Caroline! Ba, ba, ba.
All right. Congratulations to the Panthers. 23-22. Home win over the Saints. Hated division rival. Always nice to get those W's. A lot to talk about in this game, Jerry. And you were there.
I was there. I gladly got to see Saints fans walking out of the stadium very sad and crying in their beers and everything. It was nice. Little programming update before we move to Mar. We are going to go back to one episode a week as this season and last season and the year before kind of broke us down to the point where we could do it one time a game or one time a week. This week, I will say we're going to do two because that was a blast, guys.
Yeah. Expect there to be, probably less recap, Sunday recaps.
Yes.
And we're basically going to try to hit the middle of the week. But for games like this where we win, we'll be back, I think, at most of the time, right?
Yes.
That's the plan, at least.
Yeah, we were going to try to go on Wednesday. I had a migraine, and then Halloween with our kids. It got away from us,
Just didn't work out this week, yeah. But, honestly, I feel like the Panthers needed us to take a week off. And we did that for the Panthers and for you guys. And now we're back. So I guess expect a loss next week. I don't know.
Hey, we're going against the Giants. I'm not even going to say that yet.
We're going to Germany, yeah. But we'll talk about that one in the middle of the week. Let's talk about this game. A game of, I initially, as we finished watching this game, I kind of started looking at the stats and everything. I was like, how did we win this game? Because by every measure, we probably shouldn't have, right? We probably should have lost this game. But I came down to, I think, Jerry, 3 reasons why we won. Number 1, we had less penalty yards than the Saints. They had like over 100 penalty yards. Not great. Number 2, in the red zone, we were able to stop them, and we were able to score.
Correct. I mean, they had 2 touchdowns to our 3. I mean, that sounds silly, but
we won by 1 point.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge.
And then number 3, our offensive line did better than their offensive line.
Yeah.
We both had 1 sack, although the Bryce sack was more of a coverage thing. I don't put that on the offensive line, really, or even Bryce. I think that was just good defense by the Saints. But it felt like our pass rushers were at least getting close to Carr enough to force some bad throws and to force some throwaways and, to force some third and out.
I 100% agree with that. I would love to see the pressures when PFF comes out with them. I mean, I agree 100% with that, where I was seeing a lot of Carr being like, okay, my first, second reads are down. I'm under pressure. I'm getting the ball out, which is a good thing for a good, savvy quarterback like Derek Carr to do. It just, for us Panther fans, it's shocking.
Well, it's nice to see. And, Clowney, I heard his name several times today. He was right there. And I don't know if he had a good matchup or if he just, this week he decided to play hard, but it was really nice to see. I think Harris got the sack, and we want him back maybe next week, maybe the week after that. Hopefully that'll be a little boost. But this, I think, today was probably the best we've seen the defense play. I don't want to say all season, but
In a
in
while.
several weeks at least. Yeah.
I want to give a lot of credit to Josie Jewell, even though he didn't
Mm-hmm.
splash on the screen. I felt like he commanded the defense. He was the captain of the defense, where he was getting players in the right position. He was doing the things. Trevin Wallace had a great game. I think his best game so far as a pro. And I
Mm-hmm.
think part of that was taking that communication off him, taking all that pressure, giving it a lot of that to Josie Jewell, who's dealt with that before, and letting Trevin Wallace play as he knows how.
Shout out to Damani Richardson as well. 12 tackles in this game.
And that
Led
might be
led
more of
led both
him
team in
being picked
tackles.
on, in my opinion, but
You know,
whatever.
at least he was making tackles.
True. True, true.
Right? So, like, you don't get 12 tackles by accident. Like, that was a good job by him. Let's talk about Bryce. How did you feel Bryce played in this game?
I felt very good in the sense that it felt very structured. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
make any stupid mistakes. I
Mm-hmm.
I noticed while I was at the game, I saw two passes that could have been intercepted, not including the one that was
I was gonna
intercepted. That
say,
I don't
the
blame
one that
him.
was intercepted wasn't even one of those passes.
No, no, no. That
Yeah.
that was Leggett not fighting for the ball harder, or like you suggested in our text messages, his hand injury may have caused it.
Yeah, and Canales was actually asked about the injury being a part of that, and he said he just didn't know. He hadn't seen the tape, but obviously that was not just me thinking that that legitimately could have been the reason. But go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean you can't. But like there was the first one to Mingo where it was batted down. I was
Mhm.
watching Mingo that whole play, and he was beaten by that corner, and he
Mhm.
threw the
Yeah,
play. Luckily, the
and
corner only got one hand on it instead of two.
I've seen some speculation that Mingo may have not run that route correctly as well, so that could
That could
potentially
be.
be on Mingo. Either way, it didn't look like Mingo was open there, so probably not a pass that Bryce should have thrown. And then there was one other one as well, and I don't remember the situation,
It
but I remember there being two.
Yeah, it was when we first got the ball on their side of the field after that punt. It
Hmm.
was David Moore going straight for a streak.
That's right.
Bryce Young threw it. If he put a little bit more uh, loft to it, that could have
Yeah.
been a completion. But he kind of zipped it in there, and he was covered for a zip pass. That's one of those outside ones where you have to only let David Moore have a chance at it.
Right, right. But overall, you feel pretty positive about what Bryce did today.
He looked in command. I mean,
Yeah.
those mistakes are rookie mistakes, but at the same time, in my eyes, he's still a rookie. He still needs that growing pains. But other than that,
Yeah.
I felt very solid. He threw that interception was probably one of the best passes I've
It
seen
was a great throw.
in a long time by a Panthers QB. Like that pass, I just feel bad for Bryce Young having that one considered an interception, as that was just a beautiful pass by him.
I've heard for years people advocating that we should find a way to give the receivers or the running backs or whoever the pass catchers are credit for some interceptions, right? And not give them to the quarterback, because that one, 1000%
Oh yes.
was a very good throw, and would have been a nice catch, but just a really great play by the defender. I mean, let's not take it away from them. But yeah, I agree. I think Bryce. I don't know that this was the best game I've seen him play. Certainly the best game I've seen him play this year.
Same.
But last week, and we didn't talk about it, but last week I thought his numbers were not indicative of how poorly he played. I thought he didn't play well last week at all. He had two touchdowns, but one was on a short field and the other was in garbage time. He didn't have any of those this week. He didn't have any short fields, and there was no garbage time. He had to go out and make plays to win. And although I think he only had 27 passing yards after like 10 minutes in the third quarter. Um, he didn't make the big mistakes, and he did make some really excellent throws in this game. I thought he ran the ball that one time he scrambled.
Oh
I thought was
man.
a really nice decision. I really would like to see more of that from him. Um, but yeah, I thought that, Moore had a big drop. Of course, the Leggett pass. I mean, he could have easily had over 200 yards in this game, had, a couple of drops not occurred. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by Bryce, and really kind of it gives me a little bit of hope for him, right?
Yeah, I think what you just mentioned is something I wanted to bring up is that run on, was it second
Mm-hmm.
or third down? Either way, that 9 yard run
Second
was a
down, I believe.
very, something I've been wanting to see out of him. He missed an opportunity earlier in the game that it was like 2nd and 8, and he had a chance to go 4 or 5 yards and slide without an issue. And he threw the ball away. I was like, dude, take the
Yeah.
couple extra yards, take the slide instead of that. But no, he
Yeah.
didn't. But later on, I did see him take that. He took the hit, he got the first down, and then 2 plays later, Chuba gets it in. I
Mm-hmm.
think that helps in the locker room too. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
he took that hit. He went for it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, he played well enough today to win the game,
Mm-hmm.
and we have not seen that from him this year, and we certainly haven't seen him from it in a while. Got a few chats here we want to mention. Squeaky Cheeks, rookies look good today. Yeah, we're going to talk about Jatavion Sanders here in a minute. That is exciting. I think this is Bryce's best game, and still have a little confidence in him. And he reminds us this was Bryce's first victory formation in the NFL.
Yeah.
How about that?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
As someone who was at the game, I missed that as I was heading to the concourse and leaving. But after that fourth down play, I dipped out.
Yeah, not his first win, but his first victory formation, because as we all know,
His
they
others
lead
two
in the
were
fourth
last
quarter
second.
all last year. So, C3 Anthony, honestly, Phil Bryce bailed Canals out. Yes, for some horrible play calling today.
Oh, you just
Well,
wait. I agree 100% with
we've-
you on that.
We've got something to say about that. Miles Sanders hopes he gets traded this week. Man, I got a lot to say about Miles Sanders too. Hope you guys are doing great. Keep pounding. Yeah, we're doing great. I mean, today's a great day.
Yeah.
Today's a great day. But yeah, one more positive note for Bryce is that I feel, and I agree with C3 Anthony, he succeeded despite Canales. Canales was not good today.
No, his play calling was atrocious. And I kept mentioning that in our personal chat throughout the day. I was like, it was so bad. Like, why are you constantly doing over and over again third downs to Miles Sanders? Why are you going shotgun formation throws every first down? Come on, man. Like, Chuba's been a good running back this whole season. Get Bryce
Chuba's
set
a
up.
3-down back.
Get him set up. Get Bryce set up so short yardage passing. It's just so frustrating.
And throw it to Chuba. Throw it to Sanders. Like, they didn't. I feel like it says they've got 5 targets between them, but I didn't feel like they've used them the right way in the passing game. They really haven't since like the first week of the season. But yeah, I'm going to be really excited when Jonathan Brooks here, just so I don't have to see Miles Sanders anymore.
Me too.
Using Miles Sanders as your third down back is so dumb.
Especially,
if you're going to use Miles Sanders, you have to use him as a 3-down back because he is, and you have to use Chuba as a 3-down back because he is. So you give Chuba 2 series, and you give Miles 1 series, and that's, I feel like, how those guys should be used if you're going to play both of them.
Exactly.
I would rather see 25 carries from Chuba and 2 carries from Miles Sanders is what I would like to see.
Me too.
But
especially the way Miles Sanders is playing.
Yeah, I agree. This is not an effective way to use either of those guys.
And
Chuba is a 3-down back.
And I love end around. I love fake play action, in around, that type of scenario where Chuba can run it, Leggett can. Not on your first 2 possessions back to back on like drives. Let the run game get in a motion, and then you can get that Saints defense biting on that Chuba, so Leggett or who was it, Tompkins, can have a chance at getting the end around where they're biting on that. It wasn't biting because you did it like 4 times.
And when they do it, and this is also with like the swing passes, the screen passes, they do them in such predictable moments. Like I could have
Yes.
called out 4 or 5 of them before they happen, right? Just like last week, I called out the fake punt that the Panthers did, which was just the dumbest time to do it. But I was like, they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it, and they did it. But yeah, they're not they're not surprising on offense. What they do is not. There's no creativity. It feels like, right?
Yeah, and
Or if
C3
they are
Anthony,
creative,
I
they're
don't know if
creative
you
in the wrong
noticed
way.
this, but C3 Anthony's brought that up, that swing passes 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Agreed. Like, that was.
Yeah, I agree. And he's saying Bryce is getting better at throwing down, vertically downfield. Yeah, I mean, we've got, Leggett is fast enough to go downfield. Coker is
Dude,
not as fast as, but he's got a good body. Like he can go up and high point the ball.
he's such a good route runner. Let him go. I mean,
And
you
and
cokeheads were
Sanders as
right.
well, JT Sanders.
Yes. You got.
JT Sanders is real fast for a tight end.
Our rookies, our biggest weakness, I think we really, really did well at addressing this in the draft. I think JT Sanders, I think we'll talk a lot more about him later on. I think Leggett is special in his own way. I don't know if he's going to become that A.J. Brown big yardage back, but I do think he can be that big target that we need. And JT Sanders looks like it. And Coker, oh my God. Like,
Diamond in the rough.
yeah.
Yeah, they found something in him. I would have liked to have seen more targets for him. He only had 3 targets. He had 2 early catches and then kind of nothing the rest of the game. I kind of want to see more from him. But, the more I see of Leggett, the more excited I get about him.
Yeah.
Because once he figures out how to catch the ball, and that is important, he's probably left 200 yards out there on just drops and maybe poor route running. Like, I think in a couple of years, he is going to be like a 1,200-yard guy. I think he's going to be really, really good.
And he looks like he wants it. That's a big thing.
Right.
Is I think Kelvin Benjamin never really wanted it. Leggett looks like he wants it.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds mean to Benjamin, but I just don't think he wanted it like Leggett does. Leggett was practicing the day after he was drafted, tried to get together with Bryce Young, and I can already see growth this season in him.
And let's not forget, he's raw. He only
Very
had
raw.
the one big season in college, and then he came out. So he's still got a lot to learn. JT Sanders, I want to talk about him. He's still got a lot to learn. He was a very raw 4th-round pick, but he seems to get better every single week. He had a massive catch in this game where he made some guys miss and went down the field, was like almost 50 yards, right? 40, 45 yards, something like that.
Oh, man, he jumped over the player, and
Yeah,
man.
it was so good. It was so athletic. And just we have not had a tight end with that kind of play-breaking ability since Greg Olsen.
Yeah, I mean, that was a spectacular play. Like, I was watching, I was like, did he just hop over a guy? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I was at the 500, so you know how that's like, yeah, hey, that ant looked like he jumped.
Yeah. But I mean that we did not miss Deontay Johnson at all today.
No,
Right? We didn't miss him at all.
and that was something I wanted to bring up when we were supposed to record on Wednesday minus the, migraine I got. But is that supposedly a lot of rumors speculated that the Panthers just wanted him gone. That he was, I don't want to say cancer because I didn't hear that term, but he was a very negative influence in the locker room. And I could see that.
Well, that's what's happening in Pittsburgh, right? That's why they wanted to get rid of him and got rid of him for, well, what turns out to be a really good starting corner and a 6th-round pick or something, or 7th-round pick. But yeah, we didn't get to talk about that. A lot of consternation about what the Panthers got, but supposedly they had 3 offers and that was the best one. So
I heard that the other two teams basically backed off.
yeah,
That they
well,
just
that doesn't
didn't want
surprise me.
him.
Yeah. Well, I think they did themselves a disservice by not playing him Sunday,
Yeah.
right, and letting him go out there and show he's healthy and everything. They could have waited, but they didn't. And honestly, I'm fine with what they got. Yeah, they move up a few spots in the draft, but we've seen a few spots matter quite a bit, and they go from a sixth to a fifth. So that's something as well for trades and things like that. But anyway, guys like Jatavion Sanders, Jalen Coker are going to be the ones that are going to benefit from Deontay Johnson not being here,
Yeah.
and probably Adam Thielen potentially not being here if he ends up getting traded.
I think you keep Adam Thielen at this point. I don't think you can trade him because then you're looking
I
at.
think they could easily trade him.
Oh, I think they could easily trade him. Don't get me wrong, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, look at that locker room. You got Leggett, you got Coker as your 1 and
Yeah,
2,
a
in
lot
my
of youth.
opinions.
Yep.
Mingo, who was a big disappointment this year after everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Maybe they trade him.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you keep Thielen to keep that veteran locker room presence. He's always been a very good locker room guy. Since he's been here in Carolina, I think he was a great one in Minnesota, too. I don't think you get rid of that veteran leadership in a team like this, in my opinion.
I can see it both ways, right? I can see if you could get a fourth for him, maybe. Like, I think that's worth doing. And it gives Thielen an opportunity to maybe go win. Like, it's not going to happen here. And it gives our young guys more of a chance to play. And we still have David Moore as kind of the veteran guy, right? If you just want the veteran presence, he's there. And it seems like Bryce likes to throw to him as well. Wouldn't have called that really in the preseason, but hey, that's happening.
Yeah, I'm not a big David Moore fan, but I get it. I get it. If you're getting a third or fourth round pick for Thielen, you make that pull.
I can't imagine they would get a third, but a fourth for a desperate team, maybe.
Yeah.
I really don't see it happening, and I wouldn't do it for anything more than that.
Yeah. Quick little tidbits from the chat. Thank you again for everyone who's chatting in. Canales from Squeaky Cheeks. Canales is kind of a rookie too. Haha. I think he's going to get better, and he is. He is a rookie, and
yeah.
Yes.
He can only get better, we would assume, right? Like he even said in the press conference after that he's expecting to be kicking himself after watching the tape for a couple of those calls. So, to me, that means he at least understands that his play calling is not great, right?
Yeah,
not perfect.
And there are places he needs to improve. I wish he would stick to the run, especially when we have a running back who is having a career year averaging 4.5, 5 yards per carry in most games.
Yeah.
I think they
didn't run nearly enough.
They need to lean on that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumberer, thank you again for joining. A couple times I've seen you and C3 Anthony. We greatly appreciate it. Bryce looked good today. Obviously, still some stuff to clean up, but really happy with how he's playing. His confidence is definitely going up. Agreed. Final boss, Dan Morgan has had a hell of a first draft, and if it continues the way it's going, yeah. I mean, Trevin Wallace made good plays. Was there anybody who played as a rookie didn't have at least some solid plays? I don't think so.
I can't think of, I think every rookie who played well and contributed to, including the undrafted rookies, right?
Yeah.
Coker.
The Squeaky Cheek said the dollar bill horse celebration is going to take over the stadium. I was doing that when he scored, and a lot of Saints fans thought I was like humping the air. I'm not a great looking person to do that, but
on the broadcast they showed kind of a little compilation of the dollar bills throughout the season, and slowly like more and more teammates are getting involved with it.
Yeah, it's a fun thing for him. Special, really a horse guy. Like, I get it.
I mean, we haven't had the signature celebration since Cam's Superman.
No,
right? Or the dab. We haven't had the signature celebration since then, and this is one.
Yeah, no, it's special to him. I love it. I love that type of thing. Like, that's why I was doing it in the stands.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Like he wants to win, and I think that's the thing is I see him wanting to win and wanting to play better. So
I hope he's a guy that they assuming he does continue to improve and becomes that legitimate one, I hope this is one that they keep.
I do too. I mean,
Like let's not trade him when he gets valuable. Let's just keep him.
let's just
If
keep.
he turns out to be that guy, right?
I
He's
mean,
still only on pace for like 400 yards, but
him
you
and
know,
Coker, man, I think that's a good, solid one too. They show different abilities too, with Coker being that clean route runner, has a little speed, but really gets that big, massive type of guy.
yeah, I mean, I'm not excited about that being my 1-2 if I'm a
Well,
team that wants
yes,
to compete. But for the rest of this season, I agree with you, and I think they have the ability to grow into that to the
yes,
legitimate 1-2, which I think is what you were trying to say.
yes, yes, 100%. I would not. This is not a Super Bowl 1-2 right now.
Right, but it's a good young 1-2 with a lot of upside.
Yeah, on two rookies basically. I
Yeah,
mean,
not even basically, they are two rookies. And finally, Squeaky Cheek says, "We have enough receivers. I'd trade Thielen for any pick." Again, I don't think I'd trade him for any pick, but I would. I would consider trading him if they got a decent value for him.
I did. Yeah. All right. Let's just jump into some JT Sanders stat or talk before stats, because I think you and I
Mm.
are both excited about that. Uh, I I
Yeah,
was
yeah, we talked
upset.
about him
Oh,
for a
go
little
ahead.
bit, but yeah, we did talk about him a little bit. But what else did you want to bring up?
What was Canales thinking? Stop going to him. That drive was all him that scored a
Yeah,
touchdown. Huge play, and then that was like two or three of his pass attempts, and then you went away
yeah,
from him. Keep
yeah.
going.
Well, he had 5 targets in the game, and it felt like at least 3 of them were on that one
Yes.
drive. Uh, and that's the thing. Like that's the thing with Canales that he's gonna have to figure out is you got to ride the hot hand,
Yes, and
right?
he
You
was hot.
gotta feed Chuba when he's playing like that. And if Sanders has these mismatches that he's gonna have with his size and speed, he needs to be more involved.
Yes.
You know, and if he's gonna catch the ball like he did today, and he's gonna kind of, I've seen him make some very good blocks over the last few
Mm-hmm.
weeks. Like this guy's gonna be good, and I could not be more thankful and excited that we have a receiving threat at tight end. It's so important for Bryce to have that outlet.
Yes.
It's so damn important, and I'm so happy we finally have that guy, and a guy that we talked about in the preseason or in the pre-draft process that we both really liked and hoped that they drafted. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just so nice that it's all working out.
Yeah, he has to work on his blocking, but it's not detrimental to the team if he
Yeah,
has to block a couple times. Like,
right. He's not a massive negative,
yes, and
right?
that, but he shows promise in a massive positive in the receiving, something that the rest of the tight ends haven't been able to do. I mean, that 46-yard play, I mean, hopping over a defender, taking off, and he did not look slow. He was moving, like, so it
Yeah,
was so nice to see. I
he's
mean,
really fast, and I think, and I'm not saying, by the way, I wasn't saying he's a good blocker, right?
no,
I'm
no,
not saying
I
that,
understand
but
that.
I think he shows the ability to block, and I think he wants to be better. And I think those are the two important things.
Final boss said number 80 days are finally numbered here.
Oh my God.
We hope so.
Ah, God, man, what if he's like released at the trade deadline or something?
Can you
Oh,
imagine if we traded him for a 6th round pick?
I cannot imagine we would get a 6th round pick. Maybe we might have to include a 6th round pick just to get him out of here.
Hey,
But
hey, we paid Deontay Johnson's salary. We could pay Ian Thomas's salary.
I guess as long as he's not on the team, uh, there will be a very special episode of Meow Mix the day that happens.
Just for Steven. Steven Solo, shirt off, rubbing himself his nipples.
4 hours.
Oh, Ian Thomas, you're gone. Sorry, guys. I've been drinking most of the days.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, all the rookies today just impressive, and It just gives you it gives you hope, right?
Yeah.
Something we've lacked a lot of this season. Like it gives you hope. And my God, Dave Canales, start Bryce the rest of the season. At this point, there's no need. He would not commit to Bryce to
Yeah.
start Sunday. I think tomorrow he will. But come on, man. Like, what even is the point of playing Andy?
Here's my big issue, though, is I also think that Dave Canales needs to get himself out of the way and let him coach. Let Bryce throw the ball downfield more. He's getting more accurate. You could see he's getting more comfortable. You got to let him loose, man. You're going into next year. You don't know what you're going to have if you keep putting handcuffs on him. We all agree he hasn't been the number one overall pick we were hoping for, but we have to see what he has all together.
He said something. Excuse me. He said something in his post game press conference that kind of was a little eye opening to me. And basically what it was he was asked about those play calls where he was just doing the swing passes, things like that, and he said something like, Bryce is proving to me that he can make the right plays when I give him those more downfield passes, right? There you go. Go Panthers.
My drunk wife is making an appearance.
Get Brownie!
Yeah, I'm surprised she hasn't hopped over the green tent yet.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it basically said that that Canales, he's just not trusted Bryce, and that's why he has not allowed Bryce to go downfield. And we saw more downfield today, so it seems like maybe he's unlocking or giving Bryce more of those opportunities.
Yeah. Real quick, we got about 7 minutes left before, so let's quickly get some stats before we touch back in Heroes Zeros. Bryce Young, 16 out of 26, so 171 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I don't blame him. Chuba, 15 for 72, in 2 touchdowns. You got to get that guy more touches. It's stupid.
That's not enough.
Bryce, 4 for 9. I didn't realize he ran 3 other times.
3 other times. Those are the kneel downs.
Oh, okay. Xavier Leggett, 1 for 6. Yeah, again, save that for late second quarter, third quarter type of situation, not first series. Devin Tompkins, 1 for -2. I didn't even know you existed. Miles Sanders, 2 for -5. Wish you didn't exist on those carries. Jatavion Sanders, 4 for 87 on 5 targets. Again, he looked beast mode. Jalen Coker, 2 on 3 targets for 36 yards. Should have saw more of you. Leggett, 4 for 33, 1 touchdown on 6 targets. That hand.
Should have been more.
Yeah, should have been more. David Moore, 2 for 20. Showed some promise, but 4 targets kind of seems high. But as your number 3,
Bryce
I get
likes
it.
thrown to him. Yeah.
Yeah. Chuba, 2 receptions, 0 yards, 3 targets. It was weird the way they used Chuba. Jonathan Mingo, 1 target, 1 incompletion. Mingo, you such a disappointment. Miles Sanders, 2 for -5 yards.
So Miles Sanders had 4 touches for -10 yards in this game, and the running backs combined for 4 catches for -5 yards. You're not using them correctly in the pass game.
100%.
Figure it out.
I mean, we know we're not a Super Bowl playoff contender this year. This is the time to figure it out. Start goofing off with some formations and everything.
Try some stuff.
What's it going to harm? Lose?
Yeah. Defensively, mentioned Damani Richardson with 12 tackles earlier. He led the team. Charles Harris, second on the team with 6 and had the sack. So, his best game as a Panther.
Yeah, but man, I was watching him in coverage. Oh my God, he just is awful.
He's not a good player. Yeah.
He is so bad in coverage. Like, sorry.
Yeah. Nope. No, I agree. A'Shawn Robinson had a couple of nice pass rushes in this game. I thought the interior guys actually did very well. You mentioned Josie Jewell. He had 6 tackles. Trevin Wallace also mentioned 5 tackles. But yeah, I agree. Their impact on the game was more than that. Um, Clowney 4 tackles, but Clowney got back there. He was back
Mm-hmm.
there at least 3 times that I know of. So best game for him so far as well. Eddie P 1 for 1. Johnny Hecker had 3 touchbacks in this game, probably his best punting game in a while. He's been a little off lately, but yeah,
Leg may be sore from punting so much.
yeah,
Really, we got like 2 minutes left here. I do want to say that Chris Olave hit was the scariest thing I've ever seen in person. Like, I was in
that's
the
right.
500s, and you were on my chat, and I was like, hey, is he moving on the film? Because I'm so far up, I can't
Yeah,
see it. Because I saw the hit, and as soon as he took it, he went limp. And
yeah,
I watched him not move on that field until it was surrounded by other people. So it was a very scary moment. Chris Olave, I hope you're okay. I wish
they
everything's okay.
they did mention on the broadcast that he was traveling back to the stadium and will be going home with the team. So
Good.
he is okay. But yes, we didn't even mention that. But yeah, that was scary, and glad that he is going to be okay. We're not going to go over the Saints
Nah.
stats too much, but I do want to say Alvin Kamara had 29 carries for 155 yards. They know how to use him, and I wish that Canales knew how to use
I mean,
Tua.
honestly, I blame Dennis Allen for this loss for the Saints. They should have won this game. Like, stat
I
wise.
agree.
Like,
I'm probably gonna drop off here soon. So hero for me, Jatavion Sanders. 0 for me is Dave Canales play calling. Keep pounding everybody, and Jerry finish it off.
yeah, my hero, Jatavion Sanders, as well. Exactly the same reason. Zero. I'm gonna say zero was. I'm not gonna give a zero. Actually, I agree that the play calling was bad, but we'll do that anyways. Like, it is what it is. We actually got a win, so I'm just gonna call it. We will be back probably. You guys still hear me? All right, I think you guys could still hear me. Wednesday, we will be back. All right. Love you. Talk to you later. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we could hear you.
I couldn't tell because it like completely dropped
Your video
off.
went away. Yeah, your
Yeah, I
video
was
went
like,
away.
all right, love you guys. Have a good day.
Love you. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna
Hey,
go ahead and stop the audition.
hey, I'm a bit tipsy, honestly. I'm like four shots
That
in
was
since we
funny.
got back, and
That was funny.
we had like I had 2 margaritas at the bank. Yeah, I was had some syrup too. Yeah.
Scissor,
So,
scissor. I have. I got some new gummies when I went up to Sparta. There's like an apothecary up there run by witches, and my buddy brought me up there, and they had some really good gummies, and yeah, they have kicked in. They have kicked in. Good batch tonight. But yeah, that was a fun podcast.
yeah, that was fun.
Let's
Like,
I say just kind of leave it. I guess just leave it as live. I don't want to lose all the comments and stuff.
okay.
And and
I hate that it doesn't do as well when we do.
yeah, but I don't want to, we had, well, I don't know, it says we only had 18 views, but 5 likes.
I'll just throw it up separately. I mean,
Maybe tag this one as live. in the title, like
Okay.
Star Star Alive, Star Star, and then maybe yeah, just the next one or change the title for this one or something, just to kind of